I'm the way I am today. That's Oklahoma dust in my blood. That's Oklahoma dust in my blood. Got a record education from that Indian nation. That's Oklahoma dust in my blood. gave up those old cigarettes, sold that 67 red Corvette. Just the way an ice cold bill went down. If I wanna pass it around, I don't roll with the boys no more. I quit everything you left me for. The one thing that I'll always be addicted to, or down to my last breath, you. Miss you when I smell smoke, see an old car go by. Miss you when I hear that song that we danced to. Girl, I'm down to my last breath, you. It's hard to make it through these lonely nights. You come back to me, I'll be alright. I can't get past how much I'm wanting you. This is hell, like I never knew. My heart won't let me let you go. I'm lost without you, and I need
that sounded slightly familiar there. Oh yeah, hard to believe. Hard to believe. I spent the last year of my life getting to just live an unbelievable dream. I was invited to be in the Eagles. Pretty surreal, man. I was singing their songs when I was 15, 16 years old over at Northwest Classic. See, you live long enough, you never know what the hell's going to happen. I got a new job at 60. Good thing I didn't do what a lot of you wanted me to do back in them high school days. Anybody here tonight with somebody they shouldn't be here with? Just curious, just curious. I'm from here, I know what you're capable of. I'm getting ready to sing a cheating song. And I just wanted to see who was going to like it a little more. I love cheating songs with all my heart. Thank you, baby. Country music is great because of cheating songs. Hands down. That's the only reason we needed the gospel songs, was because of all the cheating songs. Here's my cheating song for the night. Don't be careful when you're going home, you could get shot. He slipped the ring off his finger. like country music, we're going to keep it coming for you. Thank you very much. Thank you, folks. I appreciate it. As most of you know, I grew up here in Oakland. And I grew up on Northwest 23rd Street. 24th. Wait a minute. That was a block off. 24th Street. But loved it here and was born in Norman, lived there till I was 4, then we came up here and grew up around 24th Street, May Avenue. And all the years I was here, I must confess, I felt like an idiot, but I didn't know that Route 66 was Northwest 39th Street. It's true. I just thought it was Northwest 39th Street. And spent most of my life on that road and didn't know it, but it was the most famous road in history. Route 66 is probably the most famous road in history. They wrote songs about it, they made movies about it and all that stuff. And anyway, when we used to travel a little bit, we'd travel out on Route 66 and be going somewhere to visit somebody or this or that, and it'd be time to maybe get a place to spend the night, you know, and there was all these cool roadside motels that had neon signs and cactuses. The rooms were air-cooled. Every now and then there'd be one with a swimming pool, you know. And me and my sis, we'd get all fired up. The old man would stop in there and he said, "Let me check this one out." You know, and he'd go in there and he'd say, "How much for a room?" They'd say, $9. $9? Jesus Christ, they're $7. We'd be tugging, "No, Dad, this one's got a pool. Come on." Keep driving. Just keep driving. But anyway, all these years later, I was just reminiscing about how cool those old places were, you know, and little by little, they all go away. And this is a song about one I made up. A fictitious place called the Old Lucky Diamond Motel.
at the old Lucky Diamond Motel. Lucille and Madonna slinging cheese in July, chain smoking unfiltered pale mountains. Old men shoot pool, cussing like fools. The old Lucky Diamond Motel. At the old Lucky Diamond Motel, the queen of the old mother road. There's color TV and the kids eat for free. The old Lucky Diamond Motel. There's airstreams and truckers, two-time lovers, teenagers out raising hell. There's cowboys and shriners and old five and dimers. The old Lucky Diamond Motel. Room 23 was the first time for me. A stripper named Rita Cantrell. Spent all my money on that sweet Spanish honey. The old Lucky Diamond Motel. Oh yeah, yeah, the old Lucky Diamond Motel. The queen of the old mother road. There's color TV and the kids eat for free. The old Lucky Diamond Motel. Oh, the sign says we don't. We never do close. I remember red dress so well. Old readers passed on, neon signs gone. The old Lucky Diamond Motel. There's a big wrecking ball just tore down the wall. A piece of America fell. But now I'm on for progress. God knows that I rest. The old Lucky Diamond Motel. Yeah, the old Still one day I know that feeling me, but I can't take a chance. Oh, you live for the moment. No future, no past. I may be a fool, love by fool, wanting to last. Yeah, let's make it last, baby. If forever in mind, I'll be here and easy to find. If your heart isn't ready, lay down with mine. If you ever have forever in your mind. Thank you very much, everybody. This is a great gift getting to be up here with this many talented musicians and singers. I worked my whole life to get to play music with people this gifted and this talented. It's a great thrill. Thank all of you. This beautiful girl singing so pretty for you is the great Wendy Moten. Would you make Wendy welcome? Next to Wendy singing high parts and playing that guitar, Mr. Jeff White. It's been a long time. From the great country of Australia, one of the greatest musicians to move to Nashville in a long, long, long time. It's the great Jed Hughes on guitar and vocals. I moved out to California as a 19-year-old kid, and I ran into this guy back here playing piano, and we've been friends all those years, since the late 70s, and we wrote I Still Believe in You together. Please welcome Mr. John Jarvis. Back on the drums, had a pretty sorry view of show business for a pretty good while. Looking at my butt, Mr. Billy Thomas on the drums. Back on the bass guitar, we met in 1980 playing with different people, and we wound up at Disney World somewhere a long time ago in about 1980 and rode Space Mountain 100 times and both threw up. Been friends ever since. Say hey to Glenn Ward. Also on guitar, one of my favorite musicians, one great guitar player right here, Mr. Tom Bukovac. On his steel guitar, keeping his country, one of the best that ever sat behind one of those things, the great Paul Franklin on steel guitar. A few years ago, Paul and I made a duet record together called Bakersfield, and what we wanted to do was honor the music of two guys, Buck Owens and also Merle Haggard. And half the songs were Buck Owens, half the songs were Merle Haggard.
all the great musicians that played on those records were made out in the west coast of California, and some of the best country music that's ever been made. And those were the two pillars of that great movement out there in Southern California. So we'd like to do a couple songs off Bakersfield. This first one is the best drinking song I've ever heard in my whole life. Called Tonight the Bottle Let Me Down. Feels good. Keep the music of that fellow alive. That's one of the best guys in the whole wide world. Merle Haggard. We're going to do one more. This is also off the Bakersfield record and honor the great Buck Owens. When I was a little kid, man, I was here in Oklahoma City. There used to be a show on Saturdays every afternoon at 4:30, the Buck Owens Ranch shows. And when I found out many years later after I'd left home that those shows were filmed here in Oklahoma City, I was crushed. I said, I could have been down there stalking those guys. But, they were powerful, man. Loved hearing Buck Owens sing this song. 1964. Together again, my tears have stopped falling. Paul Franklin, everybody, playing that steel guitar. Yes. Oh, this is fun. Thank you for this opportunity. This is great fun. This is a song that is kind of in the middle of a record years ago that nobody ever really heard much, or probably didn't get played on the radio. A lot of mine didn't, but this one didn't at all. But anyway, people will ask you sometimes, they say, do you have a favorite song? What's one of your favorite songs? And this song right here is one of my favorite songs I've ever written. Just love the spirit of what this song's about. It's called Young Man's Town.
For
Do I remember you? Did you beat me up? You're coming to apologize for it now, finally? Oh, yeah. Good. The lights are on. I can't really see. What's your name? What's your name? Oh, yeah. Good to see you. I got this pesky show I got to do for these people. Oh, cool. I have a couple here that is celebrating a 40th anniversary tonight, and Brent and Teresa Hawkinson, and just wanted to say congratulations on 40 years. That's pretty cool, 40 years. I've been married 35 years. Total.
Nice. Yeah.
That's a good one. I love Amy. I do. But I think that I think they were going to maybe even renew their vows tonight, or he was going to ask her to marry her again tonight or something. So, nice hand for those folks. Living life the way you're supposed to. We'll do this song just for y'all. Thank you, folks. Thank you. That was, you betcha. Happy anniversary. I won't tell you bad. Never mind. I'm not going to do that. But I left here in 1975. That's been a long time ago, 43 years ago, and I had a job, you know, some guys hired me to play in a band in Kentucky, and I didn't want to go to college because there was nothing to do, and I just loved playing music too much, you know, so I didn't see myself going to college, and so I took off and started playing music and did a bunch of different things, played in some bluegrass bands for years, I played in Pure Prairie League for a few years, and started making my own records in the early 80s. I made records for a long time on my own, but I couldn't really prove it because nobody had them. I remember my 10-year reunion, people would come up from school and say, "So, you still doing the music thing?" Yeah, kind of. But anyway, lo and behold, this song came along and changed everything. I'd recorded a bunch of records, but to no avail, and they weren't playing them and weren't interested. And this record came out and was just a monster hit record. It changed everything. And you know, because of it, I had to be on. I was on TV a lot, and I started getting recognized, which was weird for me. It had never really happened before, and occasionally I could feel that thing, you know, where people would be staring at you, and it was uncomfortable. And I was walking through a mall one time, and these two women were walking towards me, smoking cigarettes and just going 90 miles an hour. And I passed by, and one of them did a double take. And I heard her punch her girlfriend and say, "Hey, that looked like Vince Gill." The other woman never turned and looked. She just started going, "He wishes."
That's awesome.
That was a good one, man. Oh, Lord. Two women, I've always kind of yo-yoed up and down with weight. And depending if I had a video to shoot or an album cover to be on, I could drop some weight fast. And swear off Ted's for a month. You know? But anyway, I don't know what I was doing, but I was out touring somewhere, and these two women were sitting at a table a few tables away, and pretty soon then I could feel the look, you know, and pretty soon I heard one of them say, "Hey, see that guy over there with the club sandwich?" She turned and looked, she goes, "Yeah." She goes, "I think that's Vince Gill." The woman looked and stared me down, she goes, no way, that guy's way too thin to be Vince Gill." Bought them both a banana split and left. But my, how the years have gone by. It's been 30 years almost since this song was a hit, and I started occasionally getting recognized and stuff. But all these years later, I was in Texas, down in Amarillo, a little Mexican joint down there with an old friend, and in the middle of nowhere, and I'm eating my lunch, and there's some old dude with his cowboy hat on, toothpick in there, boots and overalls. He won't quit staring at me the whole meal. He just... And so finally, after my meal was finished, and I guess he finished his, I don't know what he walked over to me and goes, "Hey, buddy, how you doing?" He goes, "Pretty good, man. I've been looking at you the whole time I've been in here." And I go, "Yeah, I know." He said, "I swear to God, if Vince Gill would have put on about 70 pounds, he'd look just like me." Couldn't have been 20. No, but 70. So I said, "Well, guess what?" I said, "I did, and I am." He never made the connection. He just left. But I feel grateful every time I sing this song because it changed my life in such a beautiful way. Thank you very much. Nice hand for this band. Oh, thank you, folks. I'm tired. I gotta sit down. Oh, man. It's feeling good in here tonight, isn't it? I don't really care to have an opening act very often because I love playing so much. Had an opening act, it'd just be an hour that I couldn't play. I love just playing, and the band has to take a break now. There's a new union rule. And we're all old enough, we really have to pee. It's a fun time for me to sit down and tell some stories. I appreciate it. When this is a song I wrote a long time ago. I wrote this song in the early 80s, right after my daughter Jenny was born. She's now 36, has 2 kids, and I'm the happiest granddad that ever lived. That's an amazing thing, getting to be a granddad. You know, everybody always says, "Oh, it's more fun if we could have been grandparents first." They always say, I always hear everybody say, the great thing about being a grandparent is you get to give them back. And I don't feel that way. I feel completely different. I feel like when those kids show up, they're 2 now. We've got Wyatt, who's 4, and Everly, who is 6 months old. When they show up, man, life just stops. And whatever they want to do, if we want to wrestle in the big bed, or whatever it is. Really cool. And the real gift to me is seeing my daughter understand what it means to finally really love. And it's beautiful on her. She's doing a great job. She's a good mama. She kind of cuts her eyes at me every now and then because I'm slipping him some ice cream. Trying to wire his ass up before he goes home.
That's great.
But man, a long time ago, when Jenny was just really little, 2 or 3 years old, maybe even less than that, I had to go to Europe for about a month and tour and travel, and I'd never been away from her for very long, so it was a really tough stretch of life, you know, just being without your little kid. And I wrote this song for her as a present to come home. No other lover ever really cared. When I've reached out for you, you've always been there. Now I'm so far away, and baby, I'm scared. I never knew lonely till you. You are my rock and the strength I need to keep me safe in this life that I lead. Now I'm not with you and my broken heart beats. I never knew lonely till you. I never be so blue. Never knew lonely could tear you in two. Never loved someone like I love you. Girl, I never knew lonely till you. Now I can't make up for the times I've been gone. I'll prove I love you in the words of this song. Back in your arms, girl, is where I belong. I never knew long
Never knew lonely could tear you into. Never loved someone like I love you. Girl, I never knew lonely till you. Never loved someone like I love you. Girl, I never knew lonely till you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. This next song is a song I wrote about a relationship I had with a guitar my whole life. And, not very romantic, but pretty cool. I left, like I said, I left here in 1975, and I'd made my first record about a year before that. I was still in high school over at Northwest Classic. And got some silkies here. Watch your wallets, folks. They had a course in breaking and entering. High school, what a trip. That's right. My junior year was the hardest 3 years of my life. But I had made this record with my band that I was playing in called Mountain Smoke, and we all did a really neat little record, pooled our money together, and sold it at our shows and stuff like that. And the neat thing was we didn't have any expectations, just a bunch of knuckleheads that loved to play music. And we went and made this record. And I was right out here on I-40, the old I-40, before they carved it up and moved it south or whatever they did to it. I think that's what they did. Hell, it was just fun before that. I rocked through town. That's that penny tax paid off. But anyway, I was driving on I-40, and lo and behold, I had my radio on, and they started playing this song. See how it goes. July, you're a woman, more than anyone I've ever known. And it was a great John Stewart song, and I'm singing this thing, and it's going on the radio, and I start freaking out. You know, I was just like, I couldn't believe it, and I got on my CB radio, and don't laugh, you all have one. I got on that CB radio and I said, Breaker, hey man, you're not going to believe it, man. They're playing our record on the radio. And it was so cool. The truckers were coming back and said, well, hang in there, kid. That sounds pretty good. Whatever. But what it did for me, I didn't realize it at the time. It might have taken 30, 40 years to figure it out. But just having a radio station play something we did gave me hope as a 17-year-old kid, and that was a powerful thing that it did for me. And I never lost that hope in all these years. Every record I've ever made, I always hoped that somebody would like it, somebody would play it somewhere. The results of it didn't matter, but man, that hope was something powerful. And I moved to Louisville, Kentucky for a while, and I remember when it was time to leave home, 18-year-old kid, just barely out of high school, and I had a 4.0 in high school. If you had all 4 years together, I had a 4.0 with a little bit of wiggle there. But anyway, I was going to take off, and I had all my stuff in my truck, my van, and I was about to pull out of the driveway over there on 24th Street. It was the hardest thing I ever had to do in my life was put that damn truck in reverse and back out of the driver. Mom was on the front porch waving and this. They're both here tonight, and I'm grateful for that and them. My dad was on the porch. But anyway, I finally got that truck in reverse and got going down the street. And I was 2 or 3 blocks over by high school,
And all of a sudden, my CB radio fires up. I hear, breaker, breaker, 19 for old chap, you know. I said, oh, it's my pop, it's my dad, you know. Got on there, and we had the first visit where he talked to me instead of at me. You know, when you're the kid, and the parents usually they kind of telling you what to do and where to go and how to do it. And it was the first time he kind of was offering advice, and kind of a little more genteel than he usually was. It was so neat, you know. I don't remember too much of the conversation other than the spirit of it. And as I pulled further and further away, when we got on the Northwest Expressway and heading east and up, and it started breaking up and started losing it. And pretty soon it just went. That radio, man, I just fell apart. I fell apart. And I got up to Louisville, you know, and I had all these dreams and hopes and never knowing what was going to happen. And had this job in a bluegrass band for a couple $100 a week, I think. And I was a bluegrasser, and every bluegrasser wants to have an old Martin guitar. That's kind of the prerequisite to being a good bluegrasser is if you got an old Martin guitar. And I had a newer one that was just okay. And I was at this festival right after I moved up there, and this guy was walking around with a case that had on a big sign on it that said, for sale, pre-war D28 Martin, $2,500. It was 1975, you know. Might as well said 2.5 million. When I went up to him, I said, you really got an old D28 in there? And he said, yeah, I do. I said, could I see it? And he said, can you afford it? And I said, probably not. But man, I'd sure like to see that thing. And he opened that case, and there was this beautiful old Martin guitar still in pristine condition, and just beyond beautiful. And I started playing it, and I was done. I was hooked. And I said, man, I gotta have this guitar. I said, was there any chance you'd trade me? He said, hell no. He said, I'll trade you for some cash. I'll trade you if you give me some money too. And I said, okay, and we struck a deal for I think $1,650 or something. And so I wrote him a check for $1,650, and that was all the money I had in the world. And had me a job for $200 a week. I figured I was going to be all right. So I was dead ass broke, but I had a good guitar. And anyway, away we went. And this is a song about that guitar. This old guitar and me, and the things that we've been through. C.F. Martin built it back in 1942. And I remember when we met, I was only 17. Spent all my college money on half a dozen strings. I thought my folks would kill me, but I found out I was wrong. They said your future's written on your face. You sing those traveling songs. We headed for Kentucky with a suitcase full of dreams, rough out boots, a few t-shirts, a worn out pair of jeans. Soul guitar and me spent a lot of nights alone. Sometimes we get lucky and take a barmaid home. One night stands for breakfast, two strangers with the blues. Wake up in the morning, both feel confused. Home was just a highway, and we'd roam from town to town. Me in that old flat top, not caring where we're bound. From Maine to California, with a 5-piece traveling band, singing songs about the hard times that face the common man. Lord, we did the best we could. One was born a sinner, and one a piece of wood. God sent a wooden angel to guide me on my way. We were meant to be together until my dying day. Now my dearest old companion, it lies underneath my bed. My traveling days are over, but the memories fill my head. I've settled with my family back in the hills of Tennessee to teach my children's children what this old guitar means. Thank you, folks. Thank you very much. Oh, man alive. All right. Well, it's a song I don't ever sing very often. And I want to sing it tonight and dedicate it to my oldest friend, my brother Benny Garcia over there. We met each other in the summer of 6th grade, and I think I was out on the porch playing my guitar or something. He drove by on his bicycle and rode up and said, "Hey, you play guitar?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, I do too." And we hooked up and we started playing music together that summer, and we wound up going to Taft together, and kind of have been best friends ever since that summer of 6th grade. And pretty neat. But about close to 30 years ago now, I started kind of hitting a lick and things were turning around and I was needing some help and some crew and things like that. And they told me I needed a guitar tech. So I called Benny and I said, "Hey man, they tell me I need a guitar tech." He said, "What's that?" I said, "I don't know." I'm not real sure. I think what they really do is just bring you guitars. He said, "I can do that." So he's been on this journey with me for almost 30 years. Crazy about it. I wrote this song for him. Some's truth, some's bullshit. We were just kids growing up in West Texas. Remember the hell we raised. We chased the girls that never could catch us. Those were our glory days. You called me cowboy 'cause I drove a pickup and sang those old cheating songs. We'd buy a bottle of Boone's Farm, wind up all messed up. Where have those years all gone? Hey little brother, this is old cowboy. You got your radio on, 'cause I might get lucky, sing on the Opry. I'll dedicate you this song. I hit the highway and never looked back. We stayed here in our old hometown. You married a sweet girl down around Austin, and 9 kids whose eyes were all brown. You don't have no kids. I hit every bar room from Bakersfield to Boston, seeking whiskey, fortune, and fame. Counting those white lines sure gets lonely someday they'll all know my name. Hey, little brother, this is old cowboy. Let's keep your radio on. I might get lucky, sing on the opera. I'll dedicate you this song. Well, the years come and go, and I've sure realized ain't nothing like your best friend. There's one thing I know, till the day that I die, you got my back, Brother Ben. Hey, little brother, this is old cowboy. Have you got your radio on? Well, tonight I got lucky, singing on the Opry. I'll dedicate you this song. Yeah, tonight I got lucky, singing on the grand old Opry. And I'll dedicate you this song. He just reminded me, he said, don't get cocky, I've got a picture when I'm taller than you. He does. It's awesome. In 7th grade, he was taller than me. I discovered chicken fried steaks and gravy, and I went this way. Oh, golly, 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 golly. Sweet up here. Let's see, oh, it's coming up later. That's a big one. I can't do that one now. A lot of these talking blues songs, they all sound similar, so I hate to do them all in a row, but it's important to do them in a row. I told you all earlier about my old man. I'll tell you a few stories about him. It'll explain me a little bit better, but my old man was a lawyer by trade, but a redneck by birth. Cheer for that, that's great. But I love him, yeah, man. He's been gone a long time. He's been gone 21 years. That's why I tell stories about him. He can't kick my ass no more. He'd go to work, you know, with a little Brill cream in his hair and a nice suit and tie and do that lawyer thing. And then he'd come home and be that redneck that I always knew he was. Put on overalls with no shirt, some work boots. And he'd have cigarettes in every pocket of those overalls. 12 pockets in a pair of overalls. It don't matter where he fished or felt or grabbed, he could get a cig. Always had a cigarette and was very gruff and old school. He'd look at me and say, don't make me come over there. Said, I'll give you something to cry about. When I was little, I think I was always meant to play guitar. I played my whole life. I even have a picture. My mom has a picture of me sleeping on a couch when I was about maybe a year and a half, 2 years old, something like that, sleeping face down. And I had my arm around a guitar on the couch. And unfortunately, I was wearing a dress in the picture. That's a different show. Anyway, I was always beating on that guitar, man. Just whenever I could, I'd thrash away. And one day he says, "Come here, damn it, give me that guitar. Let me show you a couple things." I said, "Okay." And he said, "Oh, look, here's a G chord." I said, "Okay," and I worked on that for a little while, figured that out. And he said, "Now you need a C chord to go along with it." So worked on that, got that pretty good. And he said, "Now here's a D chord. That's a little harder. Watch this one, you know." So pretty quick order. I had 3 chords, and I was off to the races, you know. And he looked at me and he said, "Well, there you go. You're on your own, because that's all I know." So away I went with my 3 chords. And man, I'd be up in my room and just wailing away on my guitar and play it really loud, you know. And he'd come up there every now and then and he'd say, "Hey, you're getting a little better on that guitar." I said, "Thanks, man." He said, "No problem. I don't like that crap you're playing, but you're getting better." And I went to, he had practice. My dad, he was a fairly common sense, practical fellow, you know. I got in that rock band with me and Benny were playing in our little garage bands around junior high school and stuff. And I went to my dad and I said, "Hey, kid, I'd like to grow my hair long." He said, "Go ahead, I don't care." This was shocking to me to get that response. I always had a burr. And he said, "No, you can grow it as long as you want." I said, "Really?" He said, "No problem, all the way to your house if you want to." I said, "Awesome." I said, "Thank you." He said, "No problem." I started walking away. He said, "One more thing." He said, "Here's the deal." He said, "If you leave this house," he said, "your first stop will be the barber shop." Oh, Lord. And he came up, we were playing and jamming one day, and we'd play at little school functions, things like that, and there'd be dances, and we'd play the same 3 songs over and over and over and over. And he said, "Hey, son," he said, "since you've been playing in that rock band, I noticed something about you." I said, "Oh, what's that?" And he said, "You're taking quite a shine to the ladies." I said, "Yeah, Dad, I like those girls a lot." He said, "God, that's good news." He said, "I thought maybe you like a little folding cash, a little spending money. Something you could put in your pocket maybe, and ask one of them gals out for a hamburger or something, you know." I said, "Man, that'd be nice, thank you." He said, "No problem, get a job." So I lied about my age and I got me a job up here at Pizza Inn on 23rd and Villa, I think. And man, we'd be up there every night, school nights till midnight, you know, making pizzas and carrying on. And every now and then, about 11:30, the phone would ring up there, and I'd pick it up, and I'd hear, "Hey, son, is that you?" I said, "Yeah." "What's up, Daddy?" He said, "Do me a favor, will you?" He said, "Screw up a couple on purpose and bring them home with you." So I'd lie about I'd bake these pizzas, you know, and they'd be coming out hot at midnight, and we were ready to lock up and go home. And the manager would come in and he goes, Whose are these? Whose are these pizzas? I said, "Some guy called and ordered them a couple hours ago and never came to get them." He said, "Well, do whatever you want to with them." "Yeah, maybe I'll take them home." Oh man, I still got some reoccurring nightmares of my old man, these whitey-tighties at the kitchen table. Cigarette in one hand and a slice of pepperoni in the other. I'm not making this up, man. All right, I got to tell this one because I was at the very corner. This happened just yesterday. When I was 15 and a half, I was still working at the pizza joint, and I knew that I hated working, and that was not going to be in my future. And one day I said, man, I don't want to go to work today. I want to sit home. I want to stay home and play my guitar, you know. And so I got to thinking. I said, what can I think of? What can I think of? And I finally thought of something. I called my boss. I said, hey, boss, how's it going? He goes, where are you? You're supposed to be here. And I said, well, yeah, I'm not feeling really very good. And he goes, oh, really? What's wrong? I said, well, Mom took me to the doctor, and I was feeling really, really bad. He told me I had the worst case of anal glaucoma he's ever seen. My boss said, run that by me one more time. What did you say? I said, yeah. He said, probably in all the years he's been doing doctoring, he's never seen a case of anal glaucoma this bad. The boss says, what in the hell is anal glaucoma? I said, well, I just don't see my ass coming into work today. So I didn't last long there. I had a job for a minute, just driving cars, moving cars from a dealership to some other place. And one time we got a whole new shipment of police cars, and we had to take the old ones to this place, and they had all this stuff on them. So if I pulled you over, I'm sorry. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I had the sirens going. Didn't last at that job very long either. But I remember when it was time to learn how to drive, I got my permit. And every night before bed, I would hit my knees and I said, Lord, if you could see your way clear to let my mother teach me how to drive, I'd sure appreciate it. And sure enough, one day, in a hot summer day, my old man's in his overalls, no shirt, mad about something, and says, come on, let's go, get in the truck, I'm gonna teach you how to drive. I said, man, I got a lot of homework, I can't, I'm a 4.0 student, you know. He said, shut up and get your ass in the truck, come on. So we go get in the truck, and I'm kind of hoping we'll tool around the neighborhood just a little bit. 24th Street, 25th Street over there, no traffic, and it's peaceful. I've never driven before. And he takes me out to 23rd Street. Says, go, turn right. I said, Dad, it's the busiest street. Shut up, come on, you know. So I can't get my nerve to turn onto 23rd Street, and traffic's blazing and coming fast, and come on, damn it, go! You know, and finally I get my courage up and I pull out. And some guy in a GTO is going about 800 miles an hour. And he comes over the hill, and we should all be dead. Just no other way around it. We should all be dead. He should have hit us and killed us all, but he didn't. He swerved, did some fishtails, and didn't hit us, and proceeds to hang the bird out the window at us. My dad looks at me and he goes, catch that son of a bitch. Mind you, I've never driven before. So I'm going down 23rd Street going at least 100 miles an hour in a pickup truck trying to catch a guy in a GTO, and my old man's going, step on it, damn it, he's getting away! About MacArthur, we finally catch this guy. You know, my dad, the lawyer, bails out of the truck in those overalls, and I'm sitting there behind the wheel just shaking like a leaf. And this guy bails out of that GTO, and he's got a great big old tire tool, cocked and ready. My old man says, hey fella, "Are you going to use that tire tool in this fight?" Guy goes, "Yeah." My dad says, "Well, sir, this fight is finished." Came back, got in the truck. I'd love to hear my daddy play once again all the songs that he taught me when I was a kid. John Henry, Old Ship, and Faded Love. I fall to pieces and on the wings of a dove. Just a few chords on the banjo, that was all he knew. In the eyes of a child, man, his fingers flew. Well, I practiced till I got it right. I packed up everything, just took off one night. I made it from the beer joints to the opera stage. They said the only difference is what you're getting paid. He didn't care that everybody knew my name. He said it's all for nothing if you don't stay the same. And when he died, the preacher cried and said, he's the lucky one. He's walking hand in hand with God's only Son. My faith and common sense tell me the preacher's right, but I'd love to hear the banjo ring for me tonight. And I will honor my Father with these words I write down, and as long as I remember Him, He'll always be around. And the pain of losing Him cuts like a Randall knife. I learned a few chords on the banjo, it's the key to life. Yeah, the pain of losing Him cuts like a Randall knife. I learned a few chords on the banjo, it's the key to life. Thank you, folks. Well, I thought I'd do. You guys up for a couple new songs that you hadn't heard before? It's somewhat presumptuous of me. These might all be new songs to you. I feel lucky. I feel lucky about the raising I had. I had a good mama and a good dad, and a good big brother and a good big sister. And I was the youngest, and they took pretty good care of me. And I'm working on a new record, and this is a song I wrote for my mom a long time ago. And I want to sing it for her tonight. She's as good as it gets. Kind of hitting the lick and doing a bunch of stuff and having some success and all that. Every now and then they would ask my mom some questions about me and interviews and things like that. And I was always struck with the the one thing she said was so beautiful to me, and they would always ask her, because I left home at 18, didn't go to school and all that kind of stuff. She said, did it bother you that your son didn't go get a real job and go the route of an education and a this and a that? She said, no, it didn't bother me at all. She said, I didn't want a rich son. I wanted a happy son. For you, Mama. Oh, I need to write a letter, put it down in black and white. No phone call just won't cut it, not the way I feel tonight. Letter to my mama, from the bottom of my heart. I'm sorry, it's a real good place to start. Sorry I was selfish, just chalk it up to you. I got too old to need you, that's just running from the truth. Sorry things didn't work out for you and my old man. Sometimes life don't turn out like you planned. Looking back, I wonder how you ever pulled us through. I can't imagine walking in your shoes. If I could stop this pen from shaking and write these words down too. There's no one in this world I love like you. Oh, I've written down the memories of these 60-some-odd years, trying hard to just say thank you as I wipe away the tears. I hear the baby crying, so I guess I better go. Can never pay you back the love I owe. Oh, I finished up the letter, put it down in black and white. No phone call wouldn't cut it, not the way I feel tonight. Letter to my mama, from the bottom of my heart, the very bottom.